Hey guys, B-Town223 here with some Battlefield 4 on the PS4. In this video, I wanted to talk about broken games. I'm not talking about scratched discs or malfunctioning readers. I'm talking about incomplete games that developers and publishers are just sending out to us. Most recent example, if you didn't watch my Battlefield 4 first impressions video, I talk about this somewhat, but Battlefield 4 has been having a lot of problems with getting its multiplayer running, and even its single player. I've had my corrupt save file. That's really hindered my experience. I know they just released a patch to help fix some of this, but there's still going to be more problems that'll need more fixing. And one of the things I'm glad to hear is that EA and DICE said that they're halting all work on future titles and other DLC to work on finishing what needs to be done with Battlefield 4. I say it's a good thing because there's no changing it. It's already out. I already have it. So all I can pray for is that they work on it. But they shouldn't have to. It should have came out of the box ready to handle what needs to be done. And the fact that it didn't, and they're just pumping out updates to help fix these problems, I I don't really like, because that means that they shipped me a game that they knew was broken. Because it's not like, if you're sewing a sweater and you forget the head, like the hole for your head, you can easily tell. And if these people, like if DICE or EA, anybody played the game, they would have known that there was obvious problems with the game. And that makes, like, I feel like we should be compensated in some way. And I don't mean by some scope for my pistol that apparently only developers had. I'm talking about a compensation, like discount. I want, I don't know, store credit, or for on Origin maybe, or because obviously the Walmart isn't going to give me 10 bucks. But I should be compensated in some way, maybe, because I spent a month of PlayStation Plus unable to do what I want. I couldn't play Conquest for the first week or so that I had it, and that's what I wanted to do. So I feel like I was being forced to not entirely enjoy what I paid $60 for. Another huge example of this unfinished game is GTA 5. It had a massive breakdown over the first month or so it had, and it's still experiencing some problems. It's not planning on getting the heists out until 2014, and that's really upsetting. Now, I have to admit, it was a huge jump from GTA 4 to GTA 5, and the overload of people that they had was unpredictable. But the fact that heists aren't even going to be finished until 2014, and that was something they told us we would have, and the fact that there's nothing to do, no offense, but it's pretty boring. GTA Online is pretty boring, and it even came out 20 days after the release or whatever. It's not as enjoyable as I would like it to be, because as you can imagine, just robbing convenience stores for hours, or just repeating the same race around a jail for hours, gets boring. And one of the earliest examples that I can think of obvious rush was Skyrim. I love Skyrim. I have so much fun with Skyrim. But I'm not unaware of the problems that it has. Friends have told me plenty of times that they've had bugs that have ruined their experience. One of my friends, Pancakes123, he has a bug where he has to watch the 10-minute cutscene in the beginning of the game and then load his save file. And I feel like we wouldn't have cared If Skyrim didn't come out on 11/11/11, no one would have cared. No one would have minded. If the bugs were fixed, no one would have cared. But the fact that it seems rushed now because they had to meet that deadline, and that there are bugs that are really annoying, people are getting upset instead of waiting an extra month or so for the game to be complete. And I feel like lately, or I shouldn't say lately, but in the past couple of years, developers and companies have been relying on the internet as a crutch. They're shipping games out and they'll be like, "Oh, well, we'll just release an update. Oh, we'll fix that in the next patch." We don't want patches. We want games to be done when we buy them. And I feel like that started with Modern Warfare 2. Honestly, the only problems I had with it was balancing. I really didn't experience many glitches or any bugs, and I feel like that's all updates and patches should be for. Balancing. Because you have to admit, developers will never play like gamers. Because developers play the game it's supposed to be, the way it's supposed to be played, while people will just play it the way they want to, and if that means one-man army with a noob tube with a thumper, then so be it. And there was no balancing for Modern Warfare 2, so that was a problem. But I feel like that's all updates and patches should be for. Things that can't be can't be expected. When you have the entire internet shut off for 20 days extra or whatever, and you can't, or for Battlefield 4, and you just can't play Conquest for the first week, that's things you know. You know that it won't work. And this is why I'm starting to feel like games are just turning into sports games. Their companies are just pumping them out year after year to make money and to get people to buy. I know the point of a company is to make money, but it's also to I don't know, be reasonable with your consumer. Just don't be a jerk and just pump stuff out, because these things aren't complete. And that's why when Watch Dogs was delayed, yeah, I was a little upset, but then I got over it because I realized, alright, they're just trying to get this thing polished up, which I respect, which I don't mind waiting for. And I think there's a difference between... I enjoy pre-release games. If you watch my latest video, I just bought Starbound, I bought Minecraft. Those are games where you pay less than it will be at final release, but it's not the final game. And so I don't mind waiting for updates. There was just an update today where my character got wiped, but I don't mind because I know it's not the complete game and I'm getting it for cheaper than it is. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.